You know what? I'm still feeling the holiday spirit as the door begins to close on 2023. I wanted to give all of you another gift. I gave you one last week, didn't I? I think you deserve another one because you've been oh so good to me. So here it goes. My spin on Jingle Bells, if you will, please. Rushing through the snow in a third-rate stadium, with Justin Fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha, fails my Coach Smith ring. Competency he fights. What fun it was to run and throw on the Falcons' ass tonight. Oh, Jingle Bells, Falcon smells, Heineke sucked all day. Oh, what fun it was to watch their playoff hopes fade away. Hey, Jingle Bells, Falcon smells, Heineke sucked all day. Oh, what fun it was to score 37 damn points today. The air was flurry white, threw it straight down their ass. Hide the ladies tonight, skull fucking all night long, pow, pow, pow. Fields had himself a day, 4.40 was his speed. Get Getsy out the goddamn way and let Young Buck take the lead. Oh, Jingle Bells, Falcon smells, Heineke sucked all day. Oh, what fun it was to watch their playoff hopes fade away. Hey, Jingle Bells, Falcon smells, Heineke sucked all day. Ryan Pohl's going beast on some Twinkies and ding dongs today. Hey, hey, Bears football! Yeah, buddy! And I tell you right now, Falcons fans, if you don't like it, you know what you can do? Eat shit and like the taste of it because you're getting this skull fucking all night long. Because if you're a Bears fan, what a glorious day this is. What a truly monumental, stupendous occasion this is. Well, I don't even give a fuck about the game. We can talk about the game, sure. But holy shit, are you kidding me? The Chicago Bears are officially on the clock for the 2024 NFL Draft. The Panthers got stomped by the Jacksonville Jaguars today. Travis Etienne, over 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Thank you, sir. You go down in positive Chicago Bears history with Jordan Akins and Lovie Smith. And those that did their part, did the Lord's work, did Jehovah's work, Allah's work, Satan's work last year to make sure the Bears got in the spot for the top overall pick. And this time it's Travis Etienne and C.J. Beathard. They come through and get the job done. And there's Chicago. Sitting pretty, less than 4 months away from the next NFL draft in a real power position. Anything else that happened today in terms of the game was secondary of importance. It really was. Now, I do actually have to talk about the game. And I'm going to start off with this. I want to give props, major props to Justin Fields today. Well, his conditions weren't great. He's got a numbskull for a fucking head coach. Excuse me, a scarecrow for a head coach. If I only had a brain. And he's got a gutless offensive coordinator who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing half the time. Put him up. I'm the offensive coordinator. We're having success throwing the ball. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to do it. I've been planning this all week. It's going to be shock and awe. They'll never see it coming. 1st and 10, halfback pitch. 2nd and 12, halfback dive. No Darnell Mooney. Cole Kmet was basically a non-presence today. And Justin Fields went out there, and the young man had himself a ball game. How could you not feel good for the young man in that spot? All the drama and talk surrounding his future with the Bears, where he's going to play next year, what the Bears are going to do, potentially with the top pick and Justin Fields. Are they going to draft a Caleb Williams, a Drake May, or somebody else? Or what are they going to do? Like all this other noise, all this other shit. When the Bears, you know, realistically, I don't care what anybody says, they were trying to hold on to that 1% chance at the playoffs. You knew that wasn't going to fucking happen, right? Like, you really knew that wasn't going to happen, right? So realistically, the Bears aren't playing for anything that really matters. And yet he went out there today. One of the things we've been asking for is Justin Fields to go out there and put up a good performance against a good statistical defense. He did that today. Was he perfect? No. But he made some big plays. in some big spots with his arm and also obviously with his feet. I salute him. Like, hats off to him. This is the type of shit I would like to see more of from him. Now, one game is not going to change my opinion on him one way or another. There's a really small sample size again. Now, certainly, there are a number of Bears fans that are going to get way too carried away with all of this. And they're going to sit there and start acting like this is an 11-win team and not the 7-9 team that they are. And there are potentially damaging consequences and repercussions for this. It sure feels like the coaching staff is going to be back in 2024, and that could be disaster scenario engaged. When you say disaster scenario engaged, what does that mean? Like, it means Matt Eberflus fourth quarter defense. Like, that's a disaster scenario, right? Every time it happens, you get to the fourth quarter with the Matt Eberflus coach defense, you're worried they're going to fall apart. And they had elements early in the fourth quarter. They're letting Taylor Heineke scramble for an all fucking touchdown. Like, putting his old white boy version of Justin Fields there. He's outrunning Rasheed Greed and freaking Montez Sweat. He left them in the damn dust. How embarrassing it's got to be for those dudes. Taylor Heineke did that to you. I mean, one thing was Desmond Ridder. It was Taylor Heineke. But the defense got some turnovers in the fourth quarter, and they toughened up. So it is what it is. But I look at this matchup, and, it was one of these things where early on, the Falcons moved the ball on the Bears twice. So, like, if you're looking for, hey, I'm not so sure about Eberflus, you kind of look at this performance today defensively and say, yeah, those are reasons you still should not be sure of them, because they really struggled to stop the Falcons a lot today, right? Or certainly a couple of interceptions mixed in there. I think it was 3 by Heineke, wasn't it? But in general, though, like, you look at them and they were able to move the ball pretty effectively. Bijan Robinson had an efficient day on the ground. They had trouble early defending Drake London. It was not the best, but the Falcons, what was big in this game, there were a couple of key things, right? In the first quarter, into that stiff wind and in the conditions, Young-Hee Kwo missed 2 field goals. And you say, what's the significance there? The game would have been 7-6 after the Bears had scored their touchdown. The Falcons come back. If they make the second field goal, you're talking about a 7-6 game. The vibe is a lot different, right, than what it ultimately ended up being. The other play that I thought was significant was on that Bears first touchdown drive. And this is how sometimes you could screw up, and it's the best thing that could happen to you. Because as good as Fields was in different pockets of today's game, you look early on, he had a fumbled snap that was a turnover that ultimately was wiped out due to a false start penalty. Like, how different does this game feel if they don't get flagged for a penalty on the offensive line? Right? So those little plays that if they go different ways could have resulted in a big change in the game. And you look at the end of the first half. The Bears are comfortably up, but you do want to try and score more points. But you also, now where the Falcons were kicking into that end zone in the first quarter, the Bears are there in the second quarter, and Matt Eberflus decides he wants to try a 55-yard field goal. And instantly, warning bells should go off for you that, oh shit, that's a really damn long field goal with a kicker who doesn't already have the strongest leg, isn't incredibly great historically in his career, at least, outside of 2023, from 50-plus, and the conditions aren't great. When the conditions were a little bit better a couple weeks ago, I didn't try this against the Browns. Now I'm going to try it here. And that shit almost got house called. Because Alford almost took that shit back to the house. How different does this game feel? Like, it's crazy. I think it was Ross Tucker's dumbass. He's just brutal on commentary, too. Talking about nobody should be questioning Matt Eberflus. Yeah, it's shit like that is why you question Matt Eberflus. Because it instantly almost was a fucking disaster for him. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, right? And it certainly felt that way in some respects for the Bears today because the Falcons kept finding ways to beat themselves, but the Bears took advantage of it. It is also striking, like, as you watch this Bears team, when they get into scoring position, when they get into the red zone, how much Getsy just completely seems to fall apart. Put him up. I know what I'm doing. I'm the offensive coordinator. I've been working on this. I've been hustling on this my entire life. You're not going to tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing. I'm highly respected. I'm going to be back, baby. I'm going to be back. If you like Justin Fields, you're going to love what I got planned next year. But just the shit that they call sometimes is just unbelievable. But unbelievable today was DJ Moore. He was fantastic. Like, the Falcons' defensive strategy here was really idiotic. You know that Komet's either not going to play or he's going to be diminished. They don't have Darnell Mooney. So you double team DJ Moore every single play and make somebody else in that receiving unit beat you. Don't over-engineer it. Don't make this shit any more difficult. And yet Arthur Smith and his dumbass defensive coach has consistently failed to do that. Or if you say, well, no, they actually did double team him, then how in the fuck could you be so ineffective double teaming a guy? Like, Darnell Mooney's out. Cole Kmet's basically going to give you nothing. And you let DJ Moore eat that ass alive. Like, DJ Moore should be a Pro Bowler. When you look at the situation, you look at everything this year, he deserves to be called as one of those top 4 receivers in the NFC. He really, truly does. He's been a godsend for this offense. Imagine how different the outlook would be for Fields in this offense if DJ Moore wasn't there. Woo! My God. But he had a big day, and he made a couple of great plays. You know, that first bomb that Fields threw him. I personally don't think it was that great of a throw, but Moore made a tremendous effort at the catch. Later on, you know, Fields hit him on that third down when shit was going sideways because of Getsy's going to Getsy, right? Beautiful throw to DJ Moore, beautiful ball placement, beautiful catch, and you're like, wow. Meanwhile, you're looking at today's game, you're like, okay, here's a real opportunity to see Tyler Scott. Is he a guy that you look in 2024 and see as a wide receiver 2-3 type of guy, or is he more of a wide receiver 4-5, might be inactive on game day type of guy next year? And I think you got your answer today, and it's much more the latter than the former. You know, he had a couple of balls that dropped out of his hands, and for your young quarterback who's had his moments of both good and struggle this year, you've got to come down with those, especially when you're trying to be a guy that's establishing yourself as a part of the future going forward. You've got to come up with those plays. You can't come out of this game with 2 catches for 15 yards or whatever the hell it was. It was just pathetic. Not good. But, you know, when you look at it at the end of the day, you had Bears weather, running game, enough defense. It was a lot of Bears football. Although you look at the 37-point score and you say, where the fuck did this come from? So now next week, Bears fans are going to get themselves all drunk tonight, I'm sure. And this week they're going to be hopped up. And I'm sure social media will be a sane, logical, rational place for Bears fans to calmly have discourse about this team and the future in 2024 and beyond, right? No, they're going to log online, whether it's the Justin Fields Colts, it's other Bears fans, and they're just going to be skull fucking, they're going to be like, yeah. It's going to be chaos. And I'm here for it, baby. That's what Bears football is all about. Getting hyped up about mediocrity. Thinking about the draft. That's Bears football. But hey, if you're going to think about the draft, think about the fact that the Bears have the number 1 pick for the 2nd consecutive year. Anything else that happened in this game today to me is still fucking secondary. To those people that are sitting there and say, man, that means they consider 1 and take Marvin Harrison Jr., you're a fucking idiot. You're dumb. You should not be respected with that particular opinion. For the Bears in this draft, let's be very clear. There are 2 decisions with that number 1 overall pick. It is either draft a quarterback and move on from Justin Fields, or trade back for a fucking generational haul. That's it. Those are your 2 choices. The only 2 choices. That's it. And now we got 3 to 4 months to talk about that before we find out what the Bears ultimately do. So yeehaw, buckle up, Bears fans. Bear down. More Bears football. Fuck, they got to play the Packers on Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be Bears fans Super Bowl. Ain't talking about the playoffs. So we'll see if they can finally beat Green Bay. Oh, maybe Ryan Poles is starting to own the North. The only thing he's owning is Twinkies and Ding Dongs and the Carolina Panthers.